Okay, so I'm going to do some body work on the truck cab here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to apply some body filler to this spot since there's not really any metal finishing that can be done to it. You know, my welding job wasn't perfect as well. Has an unusual feature around the where the filler used to be, because that's the gas tank filler you filled in. As well, I got to build up that edge there and smooth it out. Fill that dent right there. This dent I'm going to try and knock out, but it'll probably need some filler on top of it. As well, the plug welds that I did over here are going to need some work. You know, all in all, there's a fair bit of work to do. There's also a small dent there that I should be able to get access to from the back side, and I should be able to knock that one out a bit. Same goes for this one. That's actually from the inside. Right there. And that one I should be able to knock out. That one's already, yeah, that one will just have to be filled because there's nothing I can do about it. More paint runs. Boy, that did, I did a pretty good job on the hood and the fenders there. No runs on them, but boy, this cab was a disaster. That I should be able to get at from behind that as well. Dolly them out a little bit. Same story on here. Doing some filling around the edges of the body lines here, and that's probably nearly it for all the body work. It's all, about 90% is on the back of the cab. There's one small dent on the roof of the cab that you probably can't see because of the lighting. The rest will, some of it there's odd discoloration. This stuff doesn't show up that well on this camera. There's a lot of artifacting when it gets encoded, so you probably can't see anything on the gray on gray. Otherwise, I put a new cab or new outer rockers, so those will be fine. There shouldn't be any body work needed on them, just a skim coat of filler. I think I'm going to try and fill this body line here and smooth it out, because I think it's going to be easier than trying to retain it, actually. Apart from that, I should be able to get somewhere to the point where maybe this weekend, I was hoping for paint this weekend, but realistically I think I have to hope for getting some of that high build primer on it, and then maybe do a little bit of blocking. Maybe what I might be able to do is do the jambs in the interior this weekend, but I'll have to order the paint. Not too bad. Nason paint is going to cost me about $300, and clear, and all the reducers and various other stuff. I'm not going to do really any work on the floor of the cab. That was all done before. There's some dents and dings in it, but otherwise it's not too bad. I missed some spots where there was I rubbed at that, and there turned out there was dirt underneath the paint. I went and I wire wheeled the whole thing, but I didn't get it perfect. Anyways, enough babbling. Let's get on and do something here. Okay, so I've glopped my filler on, the bane of everybody who knows what they're doing. Filled a couple little dents on the roof. Most of that is going to get sanded away. Applied some filler over the spot where I filled in the fuel filler cap, covering up some of the weld lines, spot welds, the dent, whatever you want to just go over everything there. And most of this is going to get sanded off. I also glopped some into this seam, and we'll see how that turns out. Worst case, that gets wire wheeled out if I don't like the way it looks. That's it for the cab. And other than for the hell of it, I slopped some onto that spot there, but it doesn't really matter. And I also did a little bit on the hood here. There's a very minor one. There's just a pinpoint there. As well as this corner here where it was really difficult. There's no way to access it from behind, so I pulled it as good as I could with the stud welder, and now I glopped. So there you go. Now, hopefully nobody's going to be too judgmental here. It's one of those things where it's unavoidable, where you're going to always have body filler on it. You know, none of this stuff is going to be more than probably a 1/16 of an inch thick. Probably the thickest spots is going to be in that crease there. Otherwise, it's going to be very, very, very thin. And I just look at it as perfecting the cab for a paint job that, well, who knows how that's going to turn out. Okay, this might be it for the day. This might not be.